Greyhill Incident is a survival horror game set in the early 1990s. You play as Ryan Baker, an average guy who must save his neighbor from a mysterious alien invasion. The game is atmospheric and suspenseful, with a strong focus on exploration and resource management. The graphics are decent, but the gameplay is where Greyhill Incident really shines. You'll need to use your wits and resources to survive in a world that's been turned upside down by aliens. The game is challenging and rewarding, and it's sure to please fans of the survival horror genre. Here are some of the pros and cons of the game. Pros: atmospheric and suspenseful. Strong focus on exploration and resource management. Challenging and rewarding. Good variety of enemies. Interesting story. Cons: can be a bit slow-paced at times. Some technical issues, e.g. occasional crashes. Overall, Greyhill Incident is a solid survival horror game that's sure to please fans of the genre. It's atmospheric, suspenseful, and challenging. If you're looking for a new survival horror game to play, I highly recommend checking out Greyhill Incident. Here are some additional thoughts on the game. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of Greyhill Incident. The game does a great job of creating a sense of dread and suspense. The music and sound effects are also very effective at creating a creepy and unsettling atmosphere. I also appreciated the focus on exploration and resource management. This made the game feel more challenging and rewarding. I had to be careful about how I used my resources, and I had to explore the environment carefully to find new items and weapons. The game also has a good variety of enemies, each with their own unique strengths and weaknesses. This made combat feel more strategic and challenging. The story is also interesting, and it does a good job of keeping the player engaged. However, the story is not the main focus of the game, and it is not as well developed as some other survival horror games. Overall, I had a lot of fun playing Greyhill Incident. It's a solid survival horror game that's sure to please fans of the genre. If you're looking for a new game to play, I highly recommend checking it out. Gameplay: Greyhill Incident is a survival horror game, which means that it focuses on exploration, resource management, and combat. Players must use their wits and resources to survive in a world that has been invaded by aliens. The game features a variety of enemies, each with their own unique strengths and weaknesses. Players must use different strategies to defeat each enemy type. Graphics: the graphics in Greyhill Incident are decent, but they're not the best. The game's environment is well designed, but the character models are a bit lacking. Sound: the sound in Greyhill Incident is excellent. The music and sound effects are very effective at creating a creepy and unsettling atmosphere. Story: the story in Greyhill Incident is interesting, but it is not the main focus of the game. The story is told through a series of text logs and audio recordings. Length: Greyhill Incident is a short game. It can be completed in about 5-6 hours. Replayability: Greyhill Incident has some replay value. There are multiple endings, and players can choose to play the game in different ways. For example, players can choose to focus on stealth or combat. Overall, Greyhill Incident is a solid survival horror game. It is atmospheric, suspenseful, and challenging. Fans of the genre will definitely enjoy it. However, the game is not without its flaws. The graphics are decent, but they are not the best. The story is interesting, but it is not the main focus of the game. Greyhill Incident is a short game, and it has some technical issues. If you are looking for a challenging and atmospheric survival horror game, then I recommend checking out Greyhill Incident. However, if you are looking for a game with great graphics or a long story, then you may be disappointed.